International presents the Very Merry Christmas Tour, featuring new song, Audio Adrenaline, Sidewalk Prophets, Jason Castro, and special guest, Love in the Outcome. Share the gift of hope with your family and friends this season and enjoy one of Christian music's most beloved Christmas songs. Join New Song for the Very Merry Christmas Tour, featuring New Song, Audio Adrenaline, Sidewalk Prophets, Jason Castro, and Love in the Outcome.
Presented by Fairfield Christian Academy at Fairfield Christian Church in Lancaster. December 11th at 7 p.m. Doors open at 6. Tickets at itickets.com.
Welcome to this edition of Lank's Perspective. I'm Mike Miller. Thanks for tuning in. My special guest today from United Way, Amanda Strigle and Scott Spangler. Welcome.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much for having us again, Mike.
We are glad you can be here today. I know you braved the cold weather to come in today.
I'm Canadian, Mike. This is like springtime in the mother country.
In the mother country. I am losing my voice a little bit, so I'm not going to talk as much today, and I know that both of you will be able to take up the slack.
You think so?
I know you will, Amanda. You will for sure.
Sure, Amanda will.
Yeah. Let's just talk about United Way. This is November, and let's just talk a little bit about what's happening with United Way.
Well, it's a fabulous time at United Way. We're in the heart of our campaign season. We have so many campaigns that have already kicked off here in Fairfield County, many that are just about to kick off. We're getting early numbers in. To date, we've raised $884,000 for the campaign.
Wow.
I know, it's very exciting. But when you think about the goal of $1.61 million that we need to raise in order to meet the needs of the community, we're just halfway there right now.
Now, when we talk about raising money, there's a lot that goes into it. I know that you've been involved with it, and Scott, you're in finance but do you like doing that? I mean, is that?
I certainly do, but I don't look at it from a fundraising perspective. Mm-hmm. The new United Way, we're no longer just a fundraising entity, okay? We are relationship building. We are the organization that can bring all of the stakeholders within the community together around the table to look at not just current issues, but the underlying causes of those issues and address them. So we're a convener of sorts, and we can look at what's working, what's creating that lasting change, and then we can decide where we want to put money. And even if it's not necessarily a United Way funded agency, our end game is just to create that lasting change. That's what community impact is, moving that needle in the impact areas of education, income, and health. So really creating a better life for all, and making sure that it's not just band-aiding the situation, but addressing those issues and making sure that we can change some lives along the way.
I know with the economy is different every year.
Yes.
Are you seeing more and more agencies that are calling you and saying,
Absolutely.
We need some help?
Absolutely. And since we have adopted this new business model, the new community impact model, we have opened up the funding pool. So now it creates a competitive environment for agencies where, as long as they can complete the RFP process, and as long as they can provide us with data showing that they are moving that needle, there are more opportunities for these agencies. Now, again, we're in the beginning stages of this, and so those agencies that we have always funded in the past are the ones that can provide us with that data right now and showing us that they are changing lives. And it's great to have that metric system to be able to gauge it. Whereas before we were just, we're throwing money at these things, and it may be warm and fuzzy, and it may be great. We didn't have the data to show that it was actually impactful. Now we have that data, so it's incredibly exciting.
As far as giving within Fairfield County, is it up? I mean, are more companies participating, I guess?
More companies are participating, and I think that it's very telling, and it speaks to the quality of the community that we have more individuals giving than ever before on a local level right here in Fairfield County. Even though, the economy has been challenging in the past few years, even though perhaps donations may have gone down, what we're seeing is an increase in the participation rate, which means more people are becoming engaged. And that's what it's all about, Mike. We're finding that the more that we can communicate what it is that we're doing with this new community impact model, it's not just like going out and saying, hey, listen, this is warm and fuzzy and you should do this. And you should write us a check and go to bed and sleep like a baby because it feels good. Because while it does feel good, it's my belief that if we can build that relationship with the donor and engage them, we want them to be engaged. We want them to check us out online at www.uwayfairfieldco.org. I always tease, just rolls right off the tongue, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Just Google United Way of Fairfield County. But there's a lot of exciting stuff that's happening. We're all about accountability and transparency. You're going to find a lot of information there. And if you don't find the answers to your questions, don't ever hesitate to call us at 740-653-0643. We will make sure that we get an answer to your question because we want people to ask questions. We want people to become engaged. It's my belief that the more people know about what it is that we are doing, the more they're going to want to get involved. And that's how we create the change that we need to see.
And you've got a couple town hall meetings coming up.
We do.
That'll be within the next week.
We do indeed. Now I'm going to steal it because I haven't memorized the mic. These are our reports to the community. And when we rolled out this new community impact model, we said to folks, this is what we're going to do, and we're going to come back to you after our first year in and show you the data. So we have our baselines now, and we're going to show you where we're moving and that we're moving in the right direction with those funded partners. And so we've got a couple of different dates. We're going to be up in Pickerington on Thursday, November 21st at the Fairfield County Board of Developmental Disabilities. And that's over at 7140 Reynoldsburg, Baltimore Road, again in Pickerington. And our amazing Director of Community Impact, Brenda Shamblin, will be there. She's worked so very hard assisting these agencies and working with our community impact councils and our board members to measure this data and making it so that people can understand where we were, where we want to be, and where we are right now, and what we need to do to get to that end game. So it's exciting stuff. If you're in the Lancaster area, please come join us on Monday, November 25th. And that's going to be in the large meeting room where City Council meets. And these are both at 4 p.m. So again, Monday, November 25th in Lancaster in the community room at 111 South Broad Street in Lancaster. And then 4 p.m. on Thursday, November 21st in Pickerington at the Fairfield County Board of Developmental Disabilities. We certainly hope that community members will come out. It's going to be very, very informative. And again, the more people know, the more they're going to get excited, the more they're going to be inspired, and they're going to want to get involved. Because it is inspirational. The movement that we're seeing and where we want to be, it's okay to get excited. It's okay to be inspired. It's one thing to watch a commercial on television where you see faces and people asking you for money because it's going to make a difference. I'm not saying that you shouldn't support those things, but here's something that we have actual control over and we can be a part of right here in our own backyard, helping our neighbors, our family members, our coworkers, our friends, and then we can actually see our donor dollars at work and we can measure that impact. I don't look at it so much as a donation, I look at it as an investment, although it is lovely because it's all tax deductible. So think about that as we're nearing the year end, but it's an investment. When you invest in your retirement account, you don't begin work and say, okay, here's my money, and I'll call you when I'm ready to retire, and we'll just see what happened. No, you have he's in trouble, folks. You have an expectation that you're going to be reported back to. That's your money. You want to see how it's growing and what it's doing. You have the same right with your United Way dollars, and we want you to be involved. So this is what our report to the community is. We're reporting back to you about your investment. We want you to feel good about your investment because we certainly do. But Scott and I get to see the smiling faces of clients served on a daily basis, and everyone else doesn't have that luxury of being able to see the best in humanity on a daily basis. So come out, see the real data. If you're a data nerd, like Scott here, or like Brenda, our Director of Community Impact, you're going to love the data. If you love human stories and you like that feel-good stuff like me, you're going to love it too. So there's something for everyone. It's exciting stuff. Get inspired. Come, join us, ask questions, get involved.
And Scott, we're going to talk a little bit about tax preparation. I know you're going to want some information out about that, but the reporting meeting is a breakfast, correct? Coming up in December.
It is. We just had our first report luncheon, where many campaigns have already concluded. Again, that goes into that $884,000 that we already have booked for the 2013 campaign. But we will be having our final report breakfast on Friday, December 13th. And if you're not superstitious, I happen to think it's kind of fun that it's Friday the 13th. Come out to Olivedale. They have a wonderful breakfast. You know I'm going to say it because I always do. There'll be bacon. I love bacon.
She loves the bacon.
I do love the bacon.
Is that the Canadian thing?
I don't know. I would imagine that that's just an Amanda thing.
Okay.
My love of bacon is unrivaled. So it's the only thing I like as much as, helping my fellow man. So bacon's right up there. So Friday, December 13th at 7:45 a.m. Come out, share your company stories about your workplace campaigns. It's usually very well attended. The cost is only $10. And again, it's a wonderful breakfast. And it's great to have an opportunity to sit down with other business leaders and community leaders and folks that just care and are doing something about it, to be able to look around a room and say, you know what, this is a part of Team Fairfield County. It's a good thing.
Oh, absolutely. Now, Scott, I know you're involved in the fiscal side of things, and you're looking for some volunteers yourself.
Absolutely. So for the past 6 or 7 years, we've provided free tax preparation to the community to low to moderate income families. So last year alone, we provided over 1,200 tax returns to these families, refunding over $1.8 million back into the community.
Wow.
So when Amanda talks about seeing these clients on a daily basis, it's really rewarding to sit across the table from a tax client that really needs the help, is saving money by not going to a paid preparer and getting their tax return done and getting a few $1,000s back in the process. So like you said, we are looking for volunteers right now. Volunteer can be anybody. It can be Amanda. She loves the relationships, not the numbers, but it can be Amanda. There's no accounting.
Let's not get crazy.
There's no accounting background needed.
Okay.
I do all the training, and we just do some IRS standard certification. Pretty simple. Give a few hours a week, and it can make a big impact. That's for sure.
Now, what would be the average caseload? I guess would be if Amanda came in, would she have like 5 people or 10 people?
It's totally dependent on Amanda's schedule. We're very flexible. We ask for 1 hour a week at least. Most volunteers give about 3 to 4 hours a week, and they serve 3 to 4 clients in that time period.
Wow.
Usually takes about an hour per tax return, depending on how difficult the tax return is, but we keep it pretty simple. So.
Oh. Okay, and they contact the office? What should they do? What would be these?
Yeah, contact me, Scott Spangler, at 740-653-0643, and ask for more information on how to become a volunteer. Like I said, we start in December training for the tax season, so we're in full planning mode. We'll go over the basic certification, intermediate certification, and then get back into it in January. So tax season's almost here. It's crazy to think about that we have to start doing our taxes already, but again, looking for volunteers. We also do have a tax program for the elderly. So low to moderate income under $52,000, tax counseling for the elderly is anybody over the age of 60. Doesn't matter what their income is. If you're over the age of 60, we can help you prepare your taxes for free. And that's a great program because a lot of our elderly clients, get taken advantage of sometimes by some predators. So they feel trusted with the United Way. They can come to us and get their taxes done. And it's a great service as well. So. I
think it also speaks to the quality of the service that Scott and his team of volunteers provide, that we have so many return clients, and especially when you talk about those 65 and older. Is it 60 and older or 65?
60 and older.
60 and older. Yeah. Thank you. I apologize. 60 and older, that they come back year in and year out, and they will call and they will say, "Is Scott still there? Is Barbara still there? They've always done our taxes," and so that's lovely to see those familiar faces and to know that it is such a trusted service that they provide, and we certainly love to see those new faces too, so please give us a call.
Yeah, last year, like I said, we did over 1,200 returns, and we're looking to do somewhere between 1,400 and 1,600 returns this year.
Wow.
So we were pretty stretched pretty thin last year with 9 volunteers and me and Barbara. So we're really looking to increase our volunteer numbers to kind of hit that much bigger goal this year.
Well, hopefully we'll get some volunteers for it.
Hopefully, because I really don't want to be preparing taxes, because he says anyone can do it, but I'm pretty sure I'd rather be eating bacon.
I want to get back to the community impact model. Is that something, I know the world of competition we all live in, is this something unique to Fairfield County, or is United Way doing it in other counties?
No, United Way is absolutely doing it in other counties. Now, it hasn't been adopted in every county. It was picked up mostly in the more metropolitan areas, and it's catching on with other United Ways as well, just because it's a better way to do business. And what we're realizing is that while United Way is from a branding perspective, people know United Way. People think that they know United Way, but people see us again just as a go-between, as a pass-through for these incredibly important agencies and the works that they do. And
Can't help everybody. Is that?
well, currently that's the situation that we are in right now, Mike.
Okay.
Absolutely. There's only so much money, and that's why we're calling out and to our community and asking them to become engaged, ask those questions and get involved so that we can create the change that we want to see in this county, because we all know that we can do it. We just have to pull together.
And there are a lot of people in the community that help out United Way. I know your staff is not that big, but talk about some of the individuals that help out, just that you may work with personally, that I know people, different companies that help out.
There are so many companies. Again, I'd need a whole show just to go over them. We're so lucky to work so closely with our city and county officials, as well as their employees that run special events for us, volunteer for us, help us put packets together, mailings together. We're very lucky. Kohl's volunteers come in all of the time to help us prepare materials. You know, you've got Fairfield National Bank, Fairfield Federal Bank, Standing Stone. It's just People's Bank is another huge one. It does my heart so good to know that I'm surrounded by these folks who work so hard on a daily basis within their own profession, and then still carve out time to help out their community. And they're giving too. So it's not, you know, they're opening up their wallets and their hearts. It's that time, talent, treasure. You know, the magic three, as I like to say, and it's a wonderful feeling to know that we're in a community of that quality.
I just, how long have you been with United Way now?
This is my fourth campaign. This is my fourth campaign, so almost 4 years.
Anything strike you from your very first campaign until now? I mean, besides the bacon?
Oh no, I liked the bacon then too. Yeah, well, that was a staple at
Yeah,
everything right from the get-go. That was written in my, exactly. I think, again, I think of my job more as relationship building. And so obviously the longer I'm here, the more opportunity I have to build those relationships and to build up that trust with our donor base. And so from a personal perspective, it's been really wonderful because I've made so many wonderful friends and had the privilege of meeting so many really wonderful people. And so I would say that's the biggest change.
So how long have you been with United Way?
Just over 2 years, so going into my third tax season now with United Way.
Now, are you a CPA by trade?
No, I'm not CPA, just trained by IRS standards. And
That's the dark side.
Yeah, dark side. They collect the taxes, I guess. But
Well, we just have a few minutes left. Again, we're talking to Man and Scott about United Way and the kickoff that's underway. Anything that you would like to say to maybe those that don't get involved in United Way?
I would just say, learn more. I'm not going to ask you to write me a check. I don't want your money until you want to give it to me. But I think that the more you know about United Way, the more you're going to want to get involved. And it doesn't take a lot, because no one can stretch a dollar like we do. And if we each give a little, we can really do a lot. So I would say, give me a call. Let's go on an agency field trip. I make a mean PB&J. I'm not strictly bacon. We'll take a brown bag lunch. We'll visit some agencies. You'll see what it is that we're able to do. And once you see the faces of those clients served and the hope that they have in their eyes, it's addictive. And you're not going to want to lose that feeling, and you're going to want to get involved.
I would just add to that, whether it's time, money, whatever it is, get involved. If it's our tax program, it's an agency, whatever it is, get involved. You'd be hard-pressed to find a better volunteer experience than United Way can provide at our tax program or at one of our agencies. They do it best with not a lot. So.
And one more time, you don't have to have a tax background to volunteer to help you out.
None needed. I didn't have much of a tax background before I came and started the program. I didn't start the program, but continue the program. It's just a learning experience, and it's more about the volunteer interaction. So.
Do you have to be 18 to do that?
Nope, no age
So
requirements. So we've even looked for high school students as well. So.
Okay. Yeah. Well, again, Amanda Strigle and Scott Spangler, we appreciate you guys coming out, helping out with United Way. And one more time, website, phone number?
www.uwayfairfieldco.org, or give us a buzz at 740-653-0643.
Once again, thanks for tuning in to this edition of Lancaster Perspective. I'm Mike Miller. And remember, until we meet again, let's make a difference.
The flashlight and the batteries?
Yes.
Did you make sure we're not missing anything in the first aid kit?
Yup.
Did you go through the plan with the kids again?
Yes.
The more you prepare today, the more you'll be able to reduce the devastating effects of a tornado, an earthquake, a power outage, or any other disaster. Get a kit, make a plan, be informed. Visit ready.gov.